Oh my God. Alright, we got Spectre, we got Oninoken, we got Zorbot's back, we got Lady Andrika, Psychopaz Sex, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, that name is meta as fuck. Spectre 2097. Everybody get your friends in here, let's go, let's get this show on the road. Let's go! We're going to give it like another minute or two. Everybody tell your friends. It's all good, homies. It's all good. It's all good. Tonight's cast. Let's see. Everybody hear me all right? Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Czechoslovakia. Oh my God. You're playing against Bronze 5 Age tonight? It's crazy. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. Woo! Mic check, check, 1, 2. Drop the mic. Alright, so. Am I being trolled? Is this like actually? I'm so confused. Anyway. Tonight's cast is brought to you by the Balvenie 12-year Doublewood. We're going to get this underway in just a moment, folks. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your hamster, or gerbil. We accept everything here. Chinchillas are also supported. If you bring pizza, you get a bonus cast. Pizza for gelati equals a bonus cast. That's how this works. We're going to give this like another minute. Starting now. 6 after, we're going to roll this shit. We're going to roll it. 40. All right. So. Let's go with sausage. There's Pizza Hut. I would have like a plain stuffed crust. I could deal with that maybe. But don't. No, we got a bunch of great local places, but it'd be weird. Also, most of them are close to closing, so. Alright, so. We're going to get this show on the road. We've got the Stellar Division Finals. Sorry for the hold-up, folks. We just want to get things going there. We've got the Stellar Division Finals between the Crimson Hellkites. And let me turn this NCR music off, and then we will... Okay, we're back. Stellar Division Finals. Best of 3 action here. We've got the Crimson Hellkites against UMACS. I don't know what that stands for, but that's UMACS. Max, what did you do, man? Come on. I feel like I gotta be like, I gotta quote. What's his name? It's not John Candy, it's the other guy. What'd you do? Alright, I got some bands coming out here. I might hit you up on that after this game, after the first game here, Dirtmaster, but we're gonna have a couple bands coming out. 3 bands lobbed at Mansford here. Malzahar, Syndra, and Corky from the side of the Crimson Hellkites. Nar, Tarek, and Ziggs toward the Crimson Hellkites. Yes, that's right. Double Crimson Hellkites action, yo. It's double Crimson Hellkites action, yo. These finals are brought to you by Vantage League, which is rebranding to esportsleague.gg. I encourage you guys all to go check that out. That is the league in which we are playing. It's going to be henceforth known as esportsleague.gg. I do like the new site. It looks snazzy. It looks sharp. We got a couple picks coming in. We got the Vel'Koz's first pick for Durkadurk. Durkadurk, if I remember correctly, is a Vel'Koz specialist. So, no surprise there with his Ziggs banned out. I think he played Ziggs last time he casted this. Xayah and Rakan picked up for the side of UMACS. Caitlyn Leona, the retaliation here. We'll see what they take for the 3rd pick here. So, interestingly enough, so Evia's Bay is like an R specialist. And these are all, I believe this division is gold, silver, and maybe a couple platinums. I think it's mostly gold and silver. So, Evia's Bay is one of the higher rated players, and he's very, very good on Gnar. So, pretty much always earns a ban on it. Shen is going to be the pick. Tribbles 1. I'm just going to call him Tribbles, so deal with it. Tribbles going to take Shen. And since I assume, I've never seen Rakan anywhere else. I tried him mid lane the first day he came out, but he's not exactly a good mid laner. So I'm assuming that's going to be a Shen top, Rakan Xayah bot lane, because that would be weird otherwise. Urgot ban lobbed at Evia's Bay as well. He's had a couple stellar individual performances despite not winning games on the Urgots. Really difficult to deal with. Veigar at Mansford. Mansford is going to get 5 banned here. Wow. A lot of respect. But I do think it's kind of interesting. All right, so this is like a little bit of draft strategy for people. If you triple ban somebody in the first phase of the draft and they don't pick that person's champion, I would just make them go 6 deep. Like, I think that's the correct thing to do in a lot of cases. In this case, they're not going to do that. They're going to take the Jarvan out so Asuv doesn't get it. Asuv, not entirely sure. Yeah, man. No problem, Odocles. No problem. So, that's going to be a Maokai. I presume a Maokai jungle. Maokai jungle a little bit interesting here. Oh, I meant to talk about the other bands too. Sejuani taken out as well. So Jarvan and Sejuani are the top tier junglers right now for like this level. No offense to anybody here, but they are the top picks for this, the top jungle picks for this level. Mostly because they're the best engages, and hard engage is very, very powerful. You can play Zac. Zac's very, very good as well. But Jarvan and Sejuani, I think, are like a cut above everybody else. There's the carry junglers as well. Master Yi, Kha'Zix, Evelynn. Kha'Zix and Evelynn a little bit harder to play. So we got the Maokai jungle against the Rammus jungle. Rammus jungle is surprisingly strong with Domination Tree. Gets a lot of benefit from Cheap Shot and from the, I think it's called Water Walking. No, that's an inspiration. It's the out of combat movement speed talent. I forget. Something like that. I don't know. But he gets a lot of benefit from that and Sheep Shot. Zach is actually going to be the pick, so I guess that's a Zach top. So Zach top. Rammus jungle. Vel'Koz support. Caitlyn, Leona bot lane. And on the other side, we have Shen, Maokai, Kassadin, Zaya, and Rakan. Okay, so I don't think that's a proxy pick. They traded it. Oh my god, it's top lane Rammus. Oh, man. Top lane Rammus. Man, top lane Rammus was briefly a thing at the beginning of last season, and he was a thing in, like, Season 5, too. I've actually played maybe, like, 10 games on top lane Rammus. It used to, when it was strong, I was playing it in top lane, so it's surprisingly good. You'd be surprised. I don't know particularly if it's great against Shen, but one of the weaknesses it has is that you can just push, and he can't really wave clear against you. So, I mean, Shen doesn't really push either. So, one of the Shen's major weaknesses is that he can't push. Shen, Poppy, there's a couple other champions that just really struggle in that category. So maybe this is like, I don't know if this is like some niche counter pick or if this is something Evia's Bay has been practicing, but this is definitely interesting to start off with. I'm going to briefly take a look at Eevee's profile to see if this is something he's been playing. He's been playing 1, 2, 3. It does. Okay, so he's played some games on this, which is intriguing. It's not bad. A lot of people will automatically discredit that, but it's definitely not bad. So I think Rammus and Shen probably go even. Maybe Rammus might actually win that. I don't know, because he's not very heavily auto attack based. Zach and Maokai, semi-slow clears, very strong ganking power, both scale excellently into the late game. Very, very tanky. Vel'Koz versus Kassadin is a counter matchup for Kassadin. However, since Vel'Koz is a strong... Vel'Koz is actually a really, really strong priority champion, and a lot of people don't realize that. What I mean by priority champion is someone that can control the waves very well. So Vel'Koz's real strength is that he clears waves. It's similar to like Malzahar and like Mid Morgana is also kind of like this too, where like he clears the waves very, very fast. So there's not necessarily like you can play an assassin against him, but he's just gonna like WWEQ or WWQ the wave, it's gone, and then he can roam or he can back, and you have to clear that wave. So one of the things Kassadin struggles with in lane is he's actually like a really effective freezer, but a lot of that has been taken away because he doesn't have Deathfire Touch anymore. So what Kassadin wants to do is just kind of like hold the fort until he's 6, until he gets like 2 items, then he can fight. So not taking teleport, I think, is a really big mistake by Mansberg. He's going to be in a lane. Vel'Koz, while he's a counter to Vel'Koz, Kassadin's a counter to Vel'Koz, he's going to get shoved in really early. His magic damage shield isn't going to do nearly as much against Vel'Koz's true damage if he can proc it. So, hopefully, I wonder if that's actually the case. That would really, really unfortunate. Bot lane, Rakan and Zaya, obviously very strong, but Leona and Caitlyn can bully. But I'm not going to really spend too much more time talking about this because supposedly there is an issue that has popped up. So has somebody looked in the sub channel if we're going to have to get a sub here? Bueller. In the meantime, smash that like button, smash that follow button, folks. Smash it. Follow me on Twitter at GelatiLOL. I got a blog that I've been keeping up with more recently. It's a kind of, something I used to do a lot and am not doing nearly as much as I used to. But getting back into blocking. Recently I've been on a kick. I've been writing a lot about uh, just betting, like gambling. Shh. Right? And I've been doing pretty well. I'm basically like it's something that I've always wanted to do and didn't really have a good outlet to do so, and now I have a good outlet to do so. So I'm going to be writing about my venture into that, kind of keeping like a bankroll blog. So if you guys are interested in that sort of thing, or even just interested in seeing my insights on pro scenes or games that I feel particularly strongly about, it's go check out gelatolol.blogspot.com. The link is down below. Again, I will put notifications up on Twitter anytime I update that. Smash that follow button for the stream, obviously. I stream, probably 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes more than that. So, always around to give insight. I would say high-level solo queue play, but the solo queue play right now is absolutely atrocious. So, we'll just say solo queue action for the sake of argument here. We are into the game now. Let me see if I can get my overlay to work correctly. And we got there. Alright, we're good. We're good. We made it. Guys, we made it. Well, we didn't really make it, but I made it. So you got to see a brief glimpse into the world of Josh. So apparently a connection issue. Give us a little bit of time to talk about. I'm not sure how long this pause actually goes, but it'll give us a little bit of time to talk about these team compositions a little bit more. So, really, really good engage by both sides. I think the Crimson Hellkites have a slightly better engage in this situation. Zach Leona is really, really potent, and then you also have Ramus, so you have 3 really, really strong engages. Good big front line to keep the Vel'Koz protected. Vel'Koz, it's interesting. Vel'Koz you don't really want to play as, like... You can play Vel'Koz, like, you don't want to play Vel'Koz like you play Azir, where you're, like, protecting it, right? You want to play Vel'Koz in a way where you're diving in so that he gets a good ultimate every time. You don't want him ulting with the enemy team running at you. You want him ulting, like, while the enemy team is, like, at range, right? So we have a good situation there. Cassidy and Q can, in fact, interrupt his ultimate, because it will interrupt channels, so that's worth noting. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm just going to keep talking and we'll figure it out. Wave clear, good enough on both sides. A little bit weaker on the side of YUMACS. Basically just Xayah for wave clear there, to be honest with you. So when you have a single wave clear champion, it's really, really important that that champion stays alive. Otherwise, strong siege compositions like a Caitlyn Vel'Koz kind of situation. Caitlyn can set the trap line down. Vel'Koz is extremely difficult to fight into, especially when you don't have like a Jarvan or a Malphite type engage. So, if the way I'm seeing it, if Crimson Hellkites gets ahead in this game, it's going to be extremely difficult for YUMACS to recover. Like, both teams scale very, very well, but the reason I say that is because when you get behind against like Caitlyn in a siege situation like this, when you have one wave clear champion in Xayah, now Xayah is enough; she can get the job done. But when you fall behind in situations like this, it's actually extremely difficult to recover. So they are going to have the split push option. Kind of upset that Mansford didn't take teleport. Although maybe he has spellbook. I don't know. I didn't look. Unfortunately, you still can't see runes in the new client, but we can take a look at some point. Yeah, not a huge fan of not taking teleport on Kassadin. Like, your main goal on Kassadin is the 1-3-1. Maybe this team has a different idea and they just want to dive Dirk and Idocles, but even so, Ignite I don't think is the answer. Like, Cleanse would probably be better against this team for Taunt, for Zach Q, for Leona Q, for Leona E, Leona Ult. traps, etc. Cleanse might be... If you're going to play, like, the dive thing, Cleanse is probably better, or Barrier. I don't think playing dive casted is that good. I think you want to 1-3-1, force them to... I mean, you don't really have anybody that can 1v1 you besides, like, maybe Rammus if he gets crazy fed, so... They would have had a good 1-3-1, especially because Shen Cassidy is actually really potent. If you can, like, survive the early game and move into a 1-3-1 combination. I'm a spectator, so I actually can't see all chat. So, I actually can't see all chat. What's the deal? Something going on? Oh. I can't see. Drag the window up. What's going on? Yeah, I have chat enabled. Spectators can't... I don't know. I'm also paused. Did you guys, like... Just tell me what's going on. What's going on? Sorry for the hold up, ladies and gents. Some unfortunate technical difficulties here. Oh, okay. Anyway. Filling time here. Not too good at that. Filling time solo and trying to save your voice is extremely challenging. Reminds me of, like, that one time when Doa had to solo cast one of the longest series ever. That was hysterical. Regardless, here we are. We are... Captain's log. 7 minutes and 38 seconds. Or 28 seconds into pause. It is dark. It's cold. Here on the rift. It's eerily silent besides the babbling brook. And some kind of weird hovering noise. This guy's got really big shoulders. Do you guys ever notice that? Like, look at this dude. Is that like angelic Garen? Is that like the Garen Azrael skin? Like he's like the angel of death with massive pauldrons and and the shop. Maybe that's what the shopkeeper is like always looking at. Like that's why the shopkeeper like stays here. Like why does this shopkeeper stay here? I guess because it's like relatively safe compared to the rest of the rift. And we all spawn right here, so it's like, oh, I guess we can just shop, right? But maybe he's like, maybe the shopkeeper walrus dude is like a slave to Mega Pauldron Garen. That's gotta be a new skin, by the way. You can use that. You know, that one's on me, right? You can use that if you want to. 80s Garen now with bigger shoulder pads. Now, that'd be early 90s Garen, right? That'd be early 90s real estate agent Garen. I'm allowed to make that joke because I know at least 3. So here we are. Oh my god, player will resume in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, here we go. Finally gonna get this underway. These teams got to stew in a pause for, you know, 30 some odd seconds. There's a good chance we're going to see a rage invade, mostly out of boredom and frustration here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
80s action hero, Garen. I could deal with that too. That's a good one. Going to be spotted out by the sapling, dropping mad deeps on that. Still got the full invade. One of the things you can do, and this is one of the weaknesses of Maokai Jungle, is you can invade and disrupt his saplings, and it makes his clear significantly slower. So, for somebody with a slow clear... Oh, Zac has a slow clear to start, and then it cleans up. Same with Maokai, so... disrupting the sapling stacking... I say sapling because I'm a Magic the Gathering player. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen, but... stopping the sapling stacking will slow his clear down just a tad, or require a bigger leash, which allows you to, you know, maybe you gain a minion's edge, or maybe you get an extra 10 to 15 seconds that he doesn't get to clear, basically for free, to avoid ganks for that, you know, an extra 10 seconds or so. E start Zac. Don't always see that. Typically, you start W from Zac, so interesting adaptation there. I don't know if that's lack of knowledge or just something intentional. We're gonna have parallel jungle. Parallel jungle is when both jungles are moving, you know, right to left or left to right. They're not moving opposite. Like mirrored jungling would be the same thing. Blue start, red start, or blue start, and then red, etc. So Maokai is skipping everything else on the bottom side of his jungle to go get the red buff. Zac did the same thing, except he's now going to wolf. So kind of the new school jungle start, where you do, you know, buff to wolves to blue, or the raptor junglers do raptors to buff to blue, or buff to raptors to blue, etc. So we'll have to see how this ends up. You see Zac is a little bit ahead. Zac actually warding to make sure he doesn't get invaded. A little bit of trading going on the top lane, a little bit in the bottom lane. Not too much of any kind of CS lead here. Ooh, Rammus. Big trade going on. Defensive ball curl. Defensive ball curl does a lot of damage. Of course, Rammus getting increased damage, auto attack damage from his, based on his armor. So what he's able to do is, you know, when he pops defensive ball curl, his auto attacks actually hurt quite a bit, especially at early levels without any gear. He's gonna miss that cannon minion. Oof. Feels bad, man. Eevee's Bay. Oh, taunt powerball coming in. We got a Soup coming in from the top, from the jungle. Flash out by Eevee's Bay. One of the things about Shen and Rammus, when you can't push lanes like this, when this wave is in a bad spot, you are also in a bad spot. Because now Asub can kind of just chill up here. I mean, Tribbles is low enough that he can't just, like, tank this wave to freeze. So that's a good thing that's going for him. Eevee's way overextended here. Asub's probably going to capitalize on that. We're going to keep an eye on that. Just Powerballs away. Powerballs back in. Maximum disrespect from the Armadillo. Okay? Okay. We got it. So, this bot lane, I imagine, you know, Rakan and Xayah should be able to at least, like, match the push. Caitlyn typically either wants to freeze and punish or push and punish. I'd imagine they want to keep Rakan and Xayah push because... Ooh, Ziggy just missed with the Zenith Blade there. Ooh, Rakan going in onto Idocles. Idocles taking a bunch of damage from Xayah, and looking like a relatively even trade, except the support took damage on the side of YUMACS, and the AD carry took damage on the side of Crimson Hellkites, so we'll see how they recover from that. Eevee's Bay. Just okaying minions over and over again. Mid lane, Mansford actually to a slight lead here. Actually, it's about even. This minion wave is too strong, too extra strong on the side of Dirk here. So, yeah, interestingly, he's not hard shuffling. Maybe he wants a couple of more levels in his W before he does that. Let's see what he's maxing, just out of curiosity. He's maxing Q, not W, which I think is a mistake. You need to adapt to the situation that you're in. Yeah, I know. I'm being hypercritical of mid laners, but, you know, deal with it. I'm a mid lane main, guys. This kind of matchup, I mean, maybe you want to try to freeze cast it so that you have ganks available to you. Holy cow, Tribble's taking a boatload of damage from a taunt. And some auto attacks from Evia's Bay. Tribbles very low armor, if I remember correctly. 43, which is, I believe, the resolve tree, and that's it. And base after that. Not wanting to mess with the Armadillo at all. Pretty even CS across the board. Relatively slow start. Team's basically even. Zach is literally in Sue's jungle. Gonna see if he even finds that out, which is kind of funny. Just kind of walks past. He's like, wait a minute, where'd my Gromp go? Oh, wait. Is he in here? Nope. Is he in here? Nope. He's not there. Oh my gosh, this could be a savage counter gank. Oh, Zenith Blade as he takes the plant over, and he's stuck. Flash over, Q from Ziggy. First blood going over to Ziggy. The ult came out of Durkadurk. This could be a follow-up fight if Mansferg and friends care to take it. YUMACS does not want to. Did get the ult out of Vel'Koz, however. First blood going over to Ziggy. Looks like he had already queued. I guess the auto might have taken it. I'm not entirely sure. But first blood going over to Ziggy. We get 3 assists as well. Asu didn't really have any idea Oninoken was there, so well played. Good path by Oni to know exactly where he was living. Stellar is Vantage has 4 divisions. You have Helio at the bottom, Stellar, which is the 2nd division. Ignite going on. Rakan is going to get back Caitlyn with the Ignite, and no, Caitlyn's going to get away. Flash by Tasfaz, and he's not going to get it. Guessed the wrong direction. That was kind of a 50-50. Well, less than a 50-50, but close enough. Isn't quite going to get there. So we have Helio, Stellar. I forget the middle one, or the one below us. It's Helio, Stellar, something, and Galactic. Supernova. Helio, Stellar, Supernova, and Galactic. Other divisions. Let's see. Devious Bay ulting to try to get this wave push, get a good trade, but we kind of see the awkwardness that is these 2 champions in lane, right? Like, neither of them can really push that well. It's just, like, slow push. Like, they can't shove, right? So it puts... You kind of have to overextend to get the wave to the tower. Now, EV's Bay is going to go ahead and put some damage on this tower. Going to get the teleport out of Trebles. So he's going to grab his red. Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe I need pizza.
Boom. Headshot.
Pizza cast. Here we go.
Boom.
Too much going on. Kind of surprised Mansberg still has the CS lead against this, but again, it's cute. Oh, again, it's just going to be soaked up by Rakan there. Oh, going back in. Idocles taking a fair amount of damage. Gets the headshot trade back onto Tasfaz. Tasfaz. We're going to say Tasfaz. The Cassidy counter pick, I'm going to go ahead and say is working out, despite not, you know, doing anything too explosive. Let's see. I think he just cleared his red. Yeah, he's got double buff right now. He's moving on down the right. Oh! I don't know what that flash was by Durkadurk, but he gets a flash out of Mansberg as well. Got a fight going on the bottom lane as well. Caitlyn gets the headshot proc. Ult coming in onto Xayah. They're just going to back off. This is dangerous game to play here. Here comes the Maokai ultimate. Maximum kitties jumping across the map. There's a flash. Maokai, twisted advance, going to probably secure that kill. Gonna get one onto Ziggy presumably as well, and Tasfog gets one as well. So 2 for nothing in the bottom lane. Eevee's Bay. Top lane Rammus is a really weird looking thing to watch. Durkadurk, I'm not entirely sure what the idea was flashing forward there. Maybe to dodge Cassid and ultimate, because you can't actually dodge Castle. It only does damage where he lands, like in a small area around where he lands. Or maybe it was just panic. I'm going to go ahead and say it was probably just panic. Going to have cooldown boots coming out of Durkadurk. You can kind of do both on Vel'Koz, but most people do sword shoes. Regardless, doesn't really matter. We got and Mountain Drake picked up by YUMACS. off the 2-for-0 fight that they got in the bot lane. I know I wasn't really watching that, but you can see on the map that that's what was happening. So, pretty much free 2 kills and a free Drake picked up for them. They are going to lose a little bit of tempo here from doing the dragon. Idocles is going to be able to get a fair amount of damage off this tower. And Swigga going in. Jumps back to Xayah, because Xayah can do that. We've got this hilarious trade going on the top lane. We got taunt into powerball into taunt. Just 2 taunts. We allowed to call taunting penalties on top lane? Because we would. Asu was looking for a gank in the bot lane here. That's fair. Sasfog is just going to blow. The Rakan Xayah combo is just going to blow up Idocles. Ziggy kind of on his own. He's like, no, not today. I'm just trying to barbecue. He's going to flash over the wall and get out of this. Rammus and Zac diving top lane in this lane. This game is blowing up now. Zac isn't going to get out of tower range, but has minions on the tower, so not going to be an issue. Mansford looking to maybe clean this up or defend the tower, but it looks like that tower is going to go down before he gets there. Going to be a close call. Bot lane going to shove, but let's see if Mansford can hold this tower or not. Jumps in, takes the tower down. Taunt coming in onto Mansford. Kassadin. Ultimate's on a long cooldown at this point. Again, like a panic flash by Uninoken. People got to be... If you're going to flash, you got to flash earlier. You can't flash, just because the whole, flashing to dodge thing. I completely forgot that Powerball is technically a channel, so Kassadin's Q interrupts that as well. So, Mansford going to end up with a kill and an assist from the deal. Asuv going to pick up one as well. Fortunately, nothing for Tribbles, as he's now falling behind in CS in this top lane fight. A lot of poke damage coming out on Caitlyn. There's damage onto Rakan. Shen coming in. Shen is going to land a double taunt on both champions. It's likely going to be bad news. Ult's going to come out, but far too late, and that's going to be a 2-for-1. Tribbles gets a kill, gets himself back in the game here. And I believe Tossfog has got the other one. 3-0-2 on the Xayah now. Something we didn't really talk about, as we get a 4-man push here from YUMACS on this top tower. We didn't really talk about this. There was a big patch today. Well, relatively big patch. 8.2 hit today. We got a fight coming in the bot lane here. Maokai ultimate's going to come down, but Eevee's been doing a lot of damage here. 5v2 though, not sure that's going to work out, and looks like Uninoken's going to go down as well. Tossfog picks up his 4th kill of the game. Yeah, maybe a little bit too overcommitted to saving that tower. I think a 5-minute recall. Idocles gets ahead of the curve, goes to pick up top lane. Gonna be interesting to see how Crimson Hellkites want to assign this from here on out. With outer towers falling left and right, they need to figure out. I say left and right, they just lost bot tower and top tower. It's just mirrored. So I want to see how they assign this. It looks like they're going to just swap top to bottom. It doesn't look like... It does look like they're going to match. So Tribbles is going to head down here to match Eevee's Bay on the Rammus. Shen. Idocles needs to be careful. He's way overextended with no vision here. Does have a little tiny bit, but from the sapling. Way overextended. Did want to get that one last wave before anything happened. Looks like he's rotating mid lane now. I like this call a lot. One of the things you can do against Kassadin, since his wave clear is trashed here, is you can. Oh, it looks like Idocles gonna get cut off. Why is he on the Rift Herald? I don't know, but he is. And now he's on Maokai as well. There's flash from Rakan, flash from Idocles, flash from Asuv, Ignite from Swigga, and Asuv is now on a killing spree, 3, 1, and 2 on the Maokai. Yeah, I don't know what Idocles was thinking there. I don't really want to be soloing Herald as the AD carry. Anyway, before I was talking about that, oh, we got another fight. What I was saying was, one of the things you can do against Kassadin and Fizz and these low wave clear champions, Maokai gonna go in, but oh, it does look like we are gonna get a fight here. Mansford trying to get into a manageable spot. Let's bounce, pulls Maokai back in, but he is kind of isolated here, not gonna get any help. No ult coming off of Mansford until now, a little bit too late to the party. Didn't see if that was on cooldown or not, but I'm not sure why he didn't pull the trigger on that sooner. And Eevee's Bay just rolling around, trying to find a Suv. Suv with the slick escape, dips away. Nice. I dig it. I dig it. So, briefly just touching back on what I was saying before another fight happens, which inevitably will. One of the things you can do against these low wave clear mages like Kassadin and Fizz, like LeBlanc to a lesser extent as well, is you can just like early group on their tower and shove, and they can't really do much about it, especially if you have a Caitlyn. Caitlyn's exceptional in those kind of situations. Like, the main reason you play Caitlyn is so that you can set up those siege situations where they have to engage into you, like, through the traps, and you can kind of get free damage down. Caitlyn doesn't really do enough damage without that effect compared to other carries. So you really need to utilize that you know, trap, like positioning for traps, whether it's like fighting in a place where you can, you know, place a trap line, or sieging where you can lay a trap line down. You need to kind of utilize that, otherwise Caitlyn's damage just kind of gets outclassed, and she's basically just a ranged, you know, auto attacker. Like nothing, no steroid or anything. Suv a little overcommitted here. He's gonna get Vel'Koz ulted, all that true damage run coming in. Ziggy gets the shut down. Don't really want the kills going over this Leona, but Asuv was way overextended, trying to get wards in preparation for the dragon. That's a nice pick by the Crimson Hellkites. They're going to go and grab this Mountain Drake, but that's a good play by Eevee to take the blast gun out as an entrance into this. Does look like they're going to get this. Uncontested. It could have maybe been contested, but not enough vision. A lot of damage coming in on the Idocles from Mansberg. Triple taunt from Tribbles. Tribbles taking boatload of damage. Zaya's going to pop in and take out Idocles. Eevee's Bay is going to go ahead and take out Mansberg. Rakan jumping in, almost by himself. Gets in, gets out. Zenith Blade onto the Rakan. Maokai ultimate to stop the backline follow-up. Zac taking a bunch of damage. Tosfa's really fed here. Both teams going to back away. It looks like UMACS are probably going to get a mid lane tower off of this. Yeah. So they trade the dragon presumably for this mid lane tower, assuming they can get it. It is full health, so maybe not. Not like Kassadin can get a lot of damage in to that. Going to be a teleport from Eevee's Bay and a retreat. So no tower lost. Okay. You blow the teleport. You get the dragon. You basically trade a teleport for dragon, which is totally worth it because that's what you would do anyway. So, good trade for the side of Crimson Hellkites here. UMAC's going to start utilizing their 1-3-1. This is the reason I kind of wished Mansberg went teleport. Kassadin and Shen is an extremely difficult 1-3-1 to stop because they can, you know, both 1v1 quite well, and they have the mobility and the ultimates to, you know, follow each other up. It doesn't look like there's going to be too much here. The two tanks go in onto Asuv, but it's Maokai versus tanks. They're going to take a bunch of damage. They overcommitted here. A little bit disrespectful. Mansberg and Tosfa is going to come in and clean up and kill Eevee's Bay. Goes down. A lot of damage coming in. Maokai's going to ult. He's going to be interrupted briefly, and this is going to be a 4-for-1. Let's see who picked up the Rift Herald. I believe... okay. Ziggy did get the Rift Herald. Idocles kind of backed out. Yeah, they got wedged in that fight. What I mean by that, coming in. Is Idocles going to go down here? The Ignite comes in, Kassadin comes around from the backside, and that's going to be a delayed ace. So Idocles thinking he can solo wave clear that tower, not really respecting the ability of Mansberg to flank and Maokai to do Maokai things. That's going to turn one tower into, or maybe not even one tower, into two towers and kill, or maybe not. He needs to be coming in. Maokai with a nice disengage here. A lot of damage coming onto Ziggy. Ziggy Zenith Blades, but is going to die. Tossbot's legendary at 8-0 and 5. Vel'Koz is up. There's the Vel'Koz ultimate. Not quite enough to finish anybody off. Insert where's the Karthus ult meme. Because 5 members are going to escape. 2, oh, not quite 2 towers. 1 3/4 of a tower and a kill in exchange for the Rift Herald is probably worth it. So nice trade by YUMACS. A lot of fighting back and forth here. And despite the score being 17-5, it's only a 4.2k gold difference. So not that much. Definitely manageable. I do want to mention that YUMACS definitely have a better scaling comp despite their lack of wave clears. So if they're able to establish this 1-3-1 split push with Kassadin and Shen being able to, Shen can, split and then ult to someone. If they're able to establish that kind of split push with the Kassadin, then it's going to be really, really difficult. Despite all the good engage tools for Crimson Hellkites, it's going to be really, really difficult for them to get a fight that works out well for them. Like, even with the Zac and the Leona, they can kind of just pull the trigger, but, like, Caitlyn and Vel'Koz might not be able to get enough damage on the relevant targets, since, Rakan can counter-engage, Maokai can counter-engage with his ultimate, and Xayah could just ult to avoid a substantial amount of that damage. So, I think he's maybe a little overzealous here. Has to flash out. Rakan, Xayah wants to go. Rakan taking a lot of damage. He's going to Shen ult. Evia's Bay not tanking enough. He's going to go down. Dirk's going to pick up. Swig on the backside. Oh, hard engage coming in here. Caitlyn in the backline doing a lot of damage. Not quite as much as Tossbot. Tossbot's doing a lot of damage. Gets the triple kill. Moves up to 11-0 and 5. Yeah, that 3-item Xayah. Caitlyn just can't keep. Oh, there comes the ultimate. The stun's going to pop out. Quadra kill for Tossbot. And I imagine it's going to be an inhibitor and a Baron for the side of YUMACS. Yeah, 4 for 1. The only person up is the support. I don't think Ziggy can do anything quite heroic here. Minions shoving top side for YUMACS, bot side for Crimson Hellkites. Eevee's Bay is up, Untitled is up. This is a situation where you want to look for a retaliatory Baron. They're healthy enough where they could probably fight you again with the amount of gold they have, but this is a time where you force Baron because they haven't spent the money that they have yet. And that gap, unless you're going to play this game out to 35, 40, 40 minutes, where the gold matters a lot less, unless you're going to play this out to that point, now is the time to fight because they just got, 5,000 gold up on you. They were 4,000. They were 4,000 gold up. They're now 7,000 gold up, right? So they're plus 3,000 gold, right? You wanna force a fight here ASAP. Whether that's a Baron, whether it's a Dragon, you need to force a fight. Not. I mean, they're gonna give Idocles the money here. Big top wave coming in. So I guess that's something. But you really got to look for a fight in those kind of situations because if you don't, they get to spend that money. Like, you want to force before they get a chance to buy and get to something is the whole point I'm getting at. Because until they spend that money, they're not actually ahead of you. They're the same as you. If anything, they're, like, less close because you've gotten, you've died and bought and they haven't. So, didn't look like Crimson Hellkites were aware of that, or maybe there was just some miscommunication. They weren't able to make that happen. And we're going to regroup. Now that YUMACS has been able to make a purchase, Crimson Hellkites are going to be on the back foot for quite a while and more than likely lose control of all this Baron vision they put down. Good vision control by Ziggy and Untitled. Sorry. Yeah, it's good, good control by them. They were aware of the situation that could happen. And despite not, being able to force a fight or pick a fight, they were able to get on the vision of the objectives that mattered. Good wards over here to see the direction with which the other team's going to go. See good wards on the entrances. They'll kind of see what's going on. Ooh. They push up the siege, and Idocles just gets lit up from the backside. Big ultimate from Dirk. He's going to put a bunch of damage down, but nobody is on Tossbot. Eevee's Bay and Dirk. Oh, Eevee's Bay didn't go down, but Durka and Oninokin are going to go down. And just a split fight. See if Eevee can lead them on a grand chase here. Not going to happen. Flash on the Maokai. Going to go for the end. Looks like they're going to go for the Baron. Yeah, so that fight, it looked like maybe they wanted to siege this tower or get up into this direction, right? But they weren't able to because the hard engage from the Maokai and Rakan was enough to get the job done. Let me see if I have whiteboard. Do I have whiteboard on this thing? I don't. Okay. So, anyway. I would do some crazy John Madden thing here where, like, they stepped up into this area, right? And if the other team's, you know, flooding from here, the whole idea of your team composition is a 2-core. You want to protect the Vel'Koz and the Caitlyn. If you step up to here and your tanks are up here and your carries are back here, that's just, like, free to the backline with, like, no interruption. So that's what happened in that fight, and that's why it went so poorly for Crimson Hellkites. Down 10k gold. They can stop a recall here on Kassadin. They are going to get the Q on him. Are going to get the Zephyr Blade. Powerball. Taunt. Is it going to be enough? Reinforcements coming. Rakan pops in. Doesn't knock up anybody. Leon ult's going to miss. Maokai ult coming in. And Idocles. No vision here. Limited awareness. One of your carries is down. Vel'Koz is not in a great spot over here to ult. He's just wave clearing. So we have a situation now where it's just tanks. Can't deal with that. Missed flash. That's likely going to be the game, folks. UMACS, I would think, is going to take game 1 off that. I think the big lesson here for the Crimson Hellkites is to communicate your approach to fights. And by approach, I mean, like, literally giving directions on how you're going to approach a fight. Like, are you going to go from this direction? Because if you're going to play 2-core like this, or even like Bruiser, like 2.5-core kind of stuff, right, or 3. If you're going to play like 2 hyper carries or 2 carry compositions, you need to be aware of, you know, Dirk. It's a good ult down. He's got some damage on. Is he able to live? Eevee's Bay is going to go down. Swigga gets the kill on Eevee's Bay. It's not that common. Idocles is going to drop again to a combination of hands for Tossbog's damage. And now that should be the game. It respawned. Pop this, they got Baron B. Should be the game. Although, I guess they're just going to back off. You got the mid inhibitor down. With the mid inhibitor down, you can now set up a 4-1 or a 1-3-1. You can split Kassadin wide, you can split Tribbles wide. Either or, whichever you want to do. Threaten to end the game. Use your Shen ult to create map pressure. And this one is, you know, more or less in the books. We're just kind of playing out the clock here, fellas. So, things to learn. Crimson Hellkites, if you're going to play 2-core like this, you got to imagine it like you're a football team, right? You have an offensive line, and we'll assume going to threaten a dive here. Likely going to get it to... Yeah, there's going to be 2 inhibitors. Here's the last desperation engage. Eevee's Bay. Taunt onto Assume. Zac engage on the 3 people, including the 3 carries. Good engage here. Durka getting a ton of damage on the Vel'Koz. The carry, tanks chasing carries chasing tanks. Zac gets another good elastic slingshot in. Is going to go down. No passive. Eevee's Bay gets the taunt. The Shen ult comes in. Isn't going to save. Durka doing a bunch of damage. Just Leona. Idocles clearing super minions. Just Leona. Vel'Koz not going to be enough for the Kassadin. Kassadin jumping in again. Probably has 1 more charge on his ultimate. Okay. So not quite over. They're able to defend the inhibitor. So good decisive call there to force the engage. You were going to get split pushed out anyway. You need to make a decision. Good decisive call there by Crimson Hellkites. Still don't think this is a good game state for them, obviously. They're behind. They got a lot of work to do, but everything starts somewhere.
Headshot.
Just to quickly revisit that whole football point I was trying to make. If your carries your quarterback, right? You know, if you have Vel'Koz and Caitlyn as your quarterback, your big tanky front line needs to be blocking the other enemy team from getting in, or they need to be engaging and then like peeling off backwards to disengage, right? If you're not doing that, it's basically like, you know, it's basically like you're playing and you're just like letting the defensive tackles like run through like without blocking them. So obviously they're gonna crush your quarterback. So you need to angle your team, and part of this is like communicating your approach, right? You gotta say like, we're gonna approach them this way. If they come from the right, we do this. If we come from the left, we do this, right? And you need to move as a big unit, kind of like a phalanx, right? Like maybe a catch on Mansford here. We're gonna take out the blast gun. Taunt's gonna be good. Is he gonna get out? No. Man, Ziggy keeps getting these shutdowns. His carries could use that gold. Now I understand. That's a situation where you just need to secure, because Caston could rift, walk over that wall, and he's gone. They don't really have a good way to chase, so. Idocles, bro. Bruh. Bruh. 1, don't waste your flash there. 2, you're dead. You're dead to rights. What are you doing there, Holmes? Guess you were a good distraction for the dragon, but is the dragon even worth it at this point? We're gonna lose the tower to this. They're gonna start recalling. They're clearing super minions. Probably gonna lose this outer for free. We'll see if they can mount a defense at the mid tower. I'm gonna take a brief drink. Yeah, this game kind of got out of control for Crimson Hellkites. It was looking manageable and okay, despite, you know, the scaling being on the side of YUMACS. When I say scaling on the side, like, it's in their favor, but it's not, like, drastic or anything. It's not like this team scales poorly. Vel'Koz and Caitlyn can do better. Vel'Koz especially. Oninoken gonna be looking for a Zac engage here. You do want to force before the split push gets going, but if you're gonna force, you need your 80 carry to be there. You need all hands on deck. So Idocles is making his way up. Let's see if they're gonna try the force. I mean, you really have a small window of time here because Caston's gonna split, so you basically need to fight now. Like, you just gotta go. You can't be waiting on this because every second you waste, he's getting damage on inhibitor. Alright, here comes the engage. Leona goes in. 3-man knockup. Zaya, no damage getting onto the Zaya. Tosfaz DPSing freely. He's just going to kill the front. Cassidy ending the game. Not ending the game. Gets killed by Idocles. So, a 3 for 2 so far. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be another quadra kill. Not quite. Suv takes 1. It's going to be 4 for 2. Idocles does make the hero. Ooh, almost. Idocles does make the hero play to stop Caston from taking the tower, but at what cost, right? That's the reason you need to take that fight right away, because if you take that fight and you have Caitlyn there, maybe you lose. If you do, it's no big deal. You're going to lose anyway to the split push. If you don't take that fight, you're just going to get split pushed out, and then even if you win a fight, you know, you're going to be like way, way lower percent to win that fight because you're down a person. So YUMACS is going to take game 1 in the Stellar Division Finals here. 33-31 on the clock to end that game, and that's going to be 40-13 with a 14k gold lead. Jeez. A game that didn't look that bad and just got completely out of control for the Crimson Hellkites there. So I think where that went wrong was the post-laning phase. Like we'd call it mid-game, right? So in League of Legends, you have early game, which is laning. You have mid-game, which is like more or less after the first towers go down. And then late game, which is like, you know, pretty much anything after that, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, right? So anytime you have, like, the transition to the mid-game is like one of the hardest things, you know, teams have to deal with, right? So especially when you have a Caitlyn composition. We saw this at the World Championships this year, actually. So one of the things that's difficult about playing Caitlyn is you do need to utilize that siege potential, and if you don't, she kind of falls off as a carry. Like, Idocles, you know, died 12 times. Tosfaz had 19 kills, but, like, Idocles had the same, like, more or less the same farm. He was doing plenty of damage. Like we can see, he was doing plenty. Dirk was also doing plenty. Like, they did outdamage the carries here, but it's really, really important to know that if you're not utilizing that, like she doesn't bring the AoE damage that Isaiah does, and she doesn't bring the wave, necessarily the wave clear or the defensibility that Isaiah does. So one of the people have trouble transitioning to mid game, and I think really Crimson Hellkites, the biggest issue there was their assignments after the first, like the bot lane tower went down. What was the assignment afterwards? They dilly dallied between mid and top. They didn't make a hard decision, and either of them would have been right if they just committed to it, right? So they swapped bot to top. They swapped the top laners down to bottom, which I think was right. But then like the other 4 players on the map didn't really, get on the same page for what they wanted to do next. They didn't know if they wanted to take top tower or mid tower, and that I think was the big loss, because after that it just kind of snowballed out of control, and they weren't able to triage the situation and recover. So let me accept my invites. Oh. Try now. See if it'll let me invite now. So, assume we're going to get a side switch here. Oh, man. Riot lobbies are always a nightmare on patch days. Like, they just don't want to cooperate. So they never ever want to cooperate. Let's see if logging over will work. There's that. See if this works. Survey says wait for it. Hold. Yeah. Anticlimactic, I know, right? So really, I think like that game was lost in the mid game, and one of the things that it takes a lot of experience and like slightly you see higher level teams are able to do this a little bit better just from experience. But one of the things that you don't quite see at this level, and really what separates this from the next level, in my opinion, is the ability to it's triage, right? Like bandage the wound. Don't make stop the bleeding. Don't let it get worse than it actually is. And you see a lot of teams really up until like, honestly, you see this in Galactic too. Like it's not exclusive to any one division. It just gets more and more prevalent the lower you go. It's really, really difficult to know how to play defensively and know how to play like I like to call it proactive defense, right? Where you're not just like sitting there waiting for them to make a mistake. It's all about getting vision to be able to catch, more frequently catch mistakes before they happen, right? So that's like a difficult thing. We saw some good signs from Crimson Hellkites in this game. Good forward vision despite being behind. They had really, really good, like they warded their, they were able to ward, hold up. They were able to ward entrances to the jungle and the river to see the neutral objectives, to see how the enemy team was moving to get anything. They were just not able to make a pick happen before it was relevant. And then they had like 2 really, really bad team fights in a row where their AD carry just got obliterated before, they were able to get any damage out. And when you're down one of your primary damage dealers in a 2-core, you're probably not going to win that fight. So it's more or less what happened. I think the Rammus, in a team with Leona and Zac can kind of engage, and then the Rammus can just be like a peel. Or you could do it the other way around. I don't know. You did ban 2, I think it was 2. I think it was only 2, maybe it was 3 of Eevee's champions. Maybe that's just something he's been playing recently. Who knows? Another thing to keep in mind for leagues like this is a lot of these players are you can ban somebody out in this league. That's not something people are used to in solo queue. So a lot of people's champion pools are shallow because, you know, maybe they work, maybe they don't have enough hours in the day, maybe they're just not like good enough. Right? Like it's, you know, one tricking is a good thing. Getting, you know, 1, 2, 3 tricking, getting really really good at a handful of champions is good for climbing solo queue because you need to be a difference maker in every game. But when it comes to a league like this and you can get banned out, it can be a bit of a vulnerability. So trying to find out what the issue is here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to keep you updated here. Trying to find out what's going on. I wonder if it would help if I invited. Who are we waiting on? Did everybody relog? We're going to remake this lobby. I think we got everybody on the same page now. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. This is the Stellar Division Finals. The Crimson Hellkites against UMACS. Crimson Hellkites is up. Oh, Crimson Hellkites is down the game. My apologies. 2-1. I'll put the game score up on the screen there for you. Once we get back in the lobby, that will look a lot neater and not just out of place on my client. You know, obviously shameless plugs here. Hit that follow button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to. If you're feeling froggy, don't be afraid to jump, all right? Hit that follow, hit that subscribe. Feel free to use your bits, donations. I do have sounds enabled, so that will happen if people are into that. Let me actually switch over to something here. I'm gonna remake these 1 second. So we've got, I believe they're gonna switch sides here. So this is gonna be UMACS on blue. We're gonna resize this. We're going to bold that so it's easier to read. And then we're going to add another one. Hellkites is going to be on red. I'm going to bold that. Try to make these a little more evenly sized. So our Get Our Rigged stream setup, boys. I mean, it's not really Get Our Rigged. I'm just not very good at this kind of thing. So, and then let's put our game score up too. Oh my god, come on. What's going on? Oh, that's not for you. Okay. UMACS is up 1-0. Let's note that. So yeah, as I said, feel free to hit that follow. Follow me on Twitter. Check the blog out. I'm way, way active on the blog now. I've been blogging every day. Just, you know, thoughts, comments, advice. on the professional scene. If you guys are into that kind of thing, I might do more with it, but it's been like my recent interest, my recent venture. Looks like we're gonna have one more lobby made. Once again, I apologize for the hold up, folks, but unfortunately on patch day, Rito is not a huge fan of letting you play the game. So just hang tight. We're going to make it through this together. Taking questions from the chat if people are into that. Let's see. Should be underway shortly. Looks like maybe we did it. Oh, man. Looks like we got almost everybody in here. Full lobby or riot. There we go. So, I'm curious as to what the adjustments are going to be in Game 2 here. I wonder if... We saw 4 mid lane bans aimed at Mansford. Wonder if we're going to see the same kind of thing from red side. I also wonder if we're going to see maybe a carry top or carry jungler, or if we're just going to do another 2-core composition with maybe a more stable core, like a stronger hyper carry, maybe like a Cogmal or a Twitch or Sivir or Jinx or something like that. So maybe Trist. So, going to be interesting to see how the Hellkites adjust. Oh my god, come on. Eventually we will start this game, I hope. Bueller. Anybody? Bueller. Hello? Hello? Oh, man. Yes, he's in. He's in. Heading into game 2 after a long struggle. Here we go. Let's fire it up. Let's get this underway. I'm gonna grab a drink really quickly. Oh man, gotta watch the terminology there. Oh man. Oh man. Things are getting NC-17 over here, guys. Shield your eye, cover the children's eyes. All right. Is it really? I didn't know that. Oh. Trying to get this going, people. Come on. He said they're cringy 20-year-olds. Oh, man. Savage. All right. Into champ select for game number 2. Oh, Lady Andrika. Is it Andrika? Andrika? I don't know. I think I got everyone's names right for the most part. Anyway, back at it again with the Vantage League, Stellar Division, Esports dot, what is it? I'm going to remember this. The new plug. It's Vantage League / esportsleague.gg. Season 4, Winter 2017/18, Stellar Division Finals. Heading into Game 2, UMACS were able to take Andrika. Andrika? Okay, cool, we got it. So, Game 2. Game 1 was actually, like, pretty close between these two teams, and then it just kind of ballooned out of control after a couple really, really poor lane allocations by the Crimson Hellkites. Bans slightly different. 2 mid lane bans this time. Zaya coming in as the 3rd ban instead. Ziggs, Gnar, Tarek once again on the side of UMACS. UMACS really not wanting to see those 3 particular champions, which, you know, Tarek and Gnar especially quite strong in this meta. And I'm gonna get this right. Andreka, whatever. I'll get it. Maokai first pick for Tribbles. Could be the Asuv jungle Maokai again. Ezreal and Sejuani this time around. Ezreal did get a substantial nerf today. Got his Q ratio reduced, and also they nerfed Kleptomancy, which was the main rune that Ezreal was using. So sort of a double swing. I like, in this situation, I actually like the Caitlyn a lot because Ezreal was just a little bit too strong with Klepto because he was able to get his income, and because of the tier buffs, like, you know, 6 months ago, he was able to stack his, you know, get his Mirror Mana Sheen power spike very, very early, and, like, basically he scaled faster. And because his Q did so much damage, and because Kleptomancy gave him gold, he scaled even faster, and he was able to get to his spikes faster, which made him late-game Ezreal, or mid-game and late-game Ezreal way sooner than normal. And there's even certain matchups that he can lane bully. So I actually kind of like post-nerf taking something that can bully him out and deny him the farm, because he's going to get less money from Klepto, and he's, you know, his tier items are still going to stack, but he's not going to be able to get to them as fast. It'll be more reasonable, more like old Ezreal. So still okay. Maybe just comfort for Tosfaz. Who knows? Sejuani and Vel'Koz rounding it out. Syndra from Mansferg going to be the pick he takes into Vel'Koz. Shenban toward Tribbles. Urgot toward Evia's Bay. I assume we're going to see another top lane ban, because I would think that's going to be Maokai jungle again, but this is part of the power of flex picks, right? It's not Andrika, right? Or Andrika. Emphasis on the wrong syllable. We've got Derp Naster, Spectre, Psychopez. I got everybody else's name. It's a tough one. I want to get it right, because that matters. Janna towards Swigga. Not wanting to see that. A non-ban from for the 5th ban. So maybe an accident, maybe intentional, who knows. Oh, so wait, it's Andrika? Okay. I dig it. Or Andrika. Like, Andrika. Tom Kench. Very, very strong pick right now. Able to utilize Unsealed Spellbook, although I'm not entirely sure we're going to see that in this case. We might. Tom Ezreal, kind of a little weirdly counterintuitive. Normally you see Tom Kench paired with carries that can protect themselves, but maybe this is some kind of spicy, weird pick. Who knows? Maybe it's top lane Tom Kench. Top lane Tom Kench, not a laughing matter. Oh, Andrika. Okay, got it. We got there. Full value. We got there, fam. I'm going to recenter my client. Oh, my God. That looks so much better, doesn't it? That almost looks professional. That almost looks professional, even though it's wildly off-center. Oh, my goodness. So, Tom Kench was followed up by Zyra Cho'Gath. Is going to be top lane Cho'Gath, I guess, or jungle Cho'Gath. And Kled for Eevee's Bay. Kled is a pick that I really, really like. Again, with Vel'Koz, you want picks that go in so that he can ult kind of freely, because he has to stay stationary when ulting. So it's not like any other, hyper carry mage or AD carry where gets to kite back and you can protect him and he can be doing damage the whole time. Vel'Koz is kind of gated by the fact that he has to be stationary, sort of like Kog'Maw a little bit. So you kind of want like an engage, like some kind of lockdown to keep people in place, which is why you see like Jarvan and Zac and Maokai frequently lined up with them. But we're going to get the Tom Kench. We talked briefly about the Tom Kench Ezreal being kind of counterintuitive, because Tom Kench typically wants to be paired with an AD carry that can't protect himself, and Ezreal's exceptional at protecting himself. So I don't know what this was about, but I fear we're going to have to remake the lobby. And that, no lie, that irritates me a bit. So, Andrika. We got it. We figured that name out. Emphasis on the first. I dig it. That'll work. Looking like we're missing Idocles here. Okay. Looks like we had a disconnect. I guess I'm just gonna have to play AD carry. All right. We're gonna get the in-game cast. Is remake happening? Alright. Idocles had a disconnection, so we're gonna remake this lobby hopefully once more and get this thing rolling. We're gonna use the same draft. We're not gonna completely redraft, so another 2-core composition. Really 2 cores on both sides. Massive front line with 2 carries. That's the definition of a 2-core. Although it doesn't need to be a massive front line. It's typically 2 tanks, and then the support can be either. And then 2 high DPS champions. And hopefully we can get this done. I hope. Unfortunately, part of leagues like this is just getting 10 people in the same place. I mean, this final should have been played like 2 to 3 weeks ago, depending on when the semis were finished up. So that's like honestly the biggest challenge in leagues like this, is getting 10 people in one place at one time without any issues. And a lot of the people in Vantage League or Esports League, they work full time, they have kids, they have significant others, etc. So sometimes things pop up. So it looks like we're going to be able to get underway here. Same picks, same bands. We're going to get rolling here. briefly touch on just 2 core composition. Big front. The idea is big front line. Here, maybe since I'm on this page now, I can kind of illustrate what I'm talking about, right? So, if you're playing 2 core, we're gonna say you have carry A. No, we're gonna go circles. We'll say X is your are your carries, right? And then you have your front line. Sometimes you have a guy like right here. You want to prevent their guys, their front line, from going directly to the back. So you want to meet in the middle, right? And you want to kind of set that battle line so that, you know, you have this kind of thing going on, and then your carries are just able to, you know, DPS. And when you have that kind of situation, it becomes a health check, right? So if you've got like the battle line drawn, it's obviously never this neat. Usually it's like sloppy and drawn over all over the place and everything. But if you have their carries versus your carries, it's their DPS. It's DPS plus health versus your DPS plus health. Right? So if you have like a fed Cogmaw, that ends up being a lot better than a fed Caitlyn, right? Because Cogmaw is going to be doing more damage, he's going to be able to rip through frontline. And the whole idea, again, just one more time, is you're not trying to get damage on their carries, because there's too much distance for your carries to like get this, right? So what they want to do is you really want your carries focusing their damage on one target, right? And you want to, you know, eliminate this guy from the battlefield, put all the damage there, and then move on to the next one, and then it's the carry. So in good 2 core composition team fights, you want to play front to back, and you want to kill the front line, and it's just a matter of like whose front line does better and whose front line does worse. So what now? Come on. All right. Let the record show that this was the reason I was hesitant to do this tonight. I know this isn't the team's fault, or the player's fault necessarily, but this was the main reason I was hesitant to do this tonight, was because I didn't want this to take 3 hours. God damn it. You guys want to see some more John Madden analysis? Yay! Actually, you know what we can do in the meantime? We can bring up an excellent example of 2 core team fighting. I have a really good example from this morning's telecom war. If this lobby doesn't start correctly. I'm just going to pull this up because I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of delay. So we're going to bring up some highlights from the SK Telecom versus KT Rolster match this morning. second. Okay, here we go. Let me bring up the team fight in question here. And I can show you what I'm talking about good two-core team fighting. Because it's the difference. Let me see if I can find this fight. I believe it was right here. Okay, cool. Alright. So while we're waiting for this lobby, we can kind of, yeah, exactly. I can kind of show you what I'm talking about when it comes to two-core team fighting. So, I want you to look at this fight, right? There's a couple different factors to consider here. I'm just gonna... I'll do this afterwards. Okay. So... couple different factors to consider here in this team fight, right? You've got Gnar, who's down here. You've got... oh, hold up. Let me see what's going on here. I'm just going to go on with this because it's taking 10 forevers. Alright, we're having more technical issues. I'm going to let the team sort this out and let me know what's going on. And until then, we'll take a look at this. Alright, so I'm going to roll this fight once and then we'll take a look at it, right? Oh, this is the wrong... what am I talking about? This is the wrong game. Here we go. I found it. Just gotta find the fight now. Oh, lobby's gone. Alright, here it is. Here's this fight. Okay. I was looking at the wrong game. So, I wanted to talk briefly, just like talking about like approach, right? So, you can see you don't have any carries checking the like face checking this bush, right? You have the carries in the back, or in KT's case, they're like not on that part of the map, right? They're like off to the side over here. So you've got SKT in red, KT in blue, right? SKT thinks they're gonna make a pick here. And I want to, like, this is a great example of front-to-back team fighting. And you see this a lot in, like, good, high-level professional play. You see how, like, the tanks are coming in first, right? Ornn's got to hang back so that he can channel his ult and not get interrupted. But you see a good engage here by Blank, right? Follow up with the Ornn engage. Boom. And then you're going to have Bang start doing damage, right? So you got all this knock-up, all this CC. You got Smeb with a counter-engage with the Maokai ultimate. So this would normally be a problem, right? You have Faker on the backside getting to the two carries over here. That's not normally a good thing. But I want you to watch how this fight happens, because they kind of peel it back. Score goes down right away. Score did next to nothing in this fight other than soak some damage, right? There's a bunch of ultimates down, a bunch of cooldowns down. It's a 4v5, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4 versus the 5 over here, right? Thal gets a good engage. They try to follow this up with another one. Great Azir ult from Pawn, right? They have all 5 now in one spot for Deft and Pawn to just kind of like unload on, right? And they all like see how they use the terrain to their advantage. They basically you always want to set a battle line, right? Azir literally sets a battle line, but you have, you know, they're down a person here, right? You now have this entire barrier so that they can't even get damage in this direction, right? Watch how this unfolds, right? So Blank had a Jarvan ult that kind of like trapped them in there, which didn't help. And they're just kind of front to backing, right? It's real easy. You got a big front line. They even lost a person. They still won that fight real clean, right? You don't see these scattered crazy fights all over the place. It's just playing front to back. It's real easy. All right. Let's see. Oh my god. No, because I'm just going to go to bed. Oh. I think I need to do a tutorial on how to do lobbies. Because people... Your lobby shouldn't bug out. Sometimes the client sucks. I'm just going to wait to accept this until more people get in, because that might be an issue. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Everybody excited that this is taking 10 forevers? I don't think anyone's really excited about that. I shouldn't be facetious like that. That's not nice. This isn't necessarily people's fault. Sometimes the client just bugs out and it's irritating as hell and it's frustrating. Shaw, that was like low-key savage AF, I'll have you know, Shaw. He says it's the new client. It's still as flawless as ever. Oh, that was premium. This is too much. Oh, man. Everybody. Smoke him if you got him. Smoke him if you got him. Grind, 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 grind. almost all of them. I know.
Hey, this goes to show you you're nothing but a whiskey delta.
Your judgment is clouded. Seek clarity.
Pika Pika! Sean is so upset.
Sharpening my feathers.
Oh my. Alright, so everybody say your Hail Marys. No disconnections. Let's say no pauses when we get into the game. Let's just fire this thing right off. Oh man. You gotta yeah, there we go. I do got the better TV emote, so feel free to go wild on this if you guys want to. I'm all about it. Sad Chub's a huge fan of Rowlet. What's everybody's favorite Pokemon?
As you wish.
Spirit of Healing and Loping. I'm a fan. See? Look, something good came out of this. We're having a blast in the Twitch chat, right? See? Sometimes
So I go.
it takes disaster to unite all our weird selves.
Yes, sir.
Scissor, Eevee. Who's my favorite Pokemon? Shit, I don't even know who my favorite Pokemon is. See, I only play. All right, so here's me. Right, I played Red and Blue, and Yellow, and I played Gold and Silver, and then I stopped. I know some of the new ones, but I mostly only know like the first 251. Right. Am I a bad person for saying I like Snorlax because he resembles me? I love sleeping, man. I love it. Ziggy, I swear to God, I'll punch you through the internet. Like, I will literally punch my monitor through the internet. Hey, okay, never mind, we're good. Hey, your boy Gelati played the card game. I was a beast at that. No joke. My little 7-year-old ass would roll up to the Toys R Us every Saturday morning and kick our gym leader's ass every single Saturday. Felt bad. It was like probably some like 30-year-old dude that was just like, I hate my life. My favorite card was Movie Promo Mewtwo or Computer Search or Scyther. Scyther, because back when I played, they were like the best cards. Card games are for losers. Yeah. Let me just fire up my Magic the Gathering stream. Dude, I've got all sorts of stuff. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna drop some Twitch links, right? I want you guys to hit the follow button on that. That might be happening this weekend or next weekend. For those interested in Magic the Gathering, it's we're gonna do like a chill cast. I disagree with that, Psycho. The game's great. The idea we're gonna have is to live stream basically Friday night, just like Commander, at a buddy's house. You know, drinks, chilling, conversation. You too? Shit. So, dude, we could talk more, dude. You know how much Cube Draft I played over the holidays? And you know how much Cube Draft I won? 0. No, I 3-0'd twice, I think. Out of way too many. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Who's not having the single mode singleton? That's me, dude. That's going to be me and the Delaware fam, and we're gonna rock that out, and it's gonna be great. And I promise, we're gonna be hanging. It's basically just gonna be hanging out, and there happens to be a card game on. So, if you guys are into that kind of thing, we do want to fire that up. We do want to try to get that going. It's just an idea I had. I thought the title was outstanding for anybody that's into EDH or Commander / hanging with me and my friends. It's going to be great whenever we get that going. We're trying to figure out the camera situation because filming Magic's really, really difficult. One, because it's hard to see the card names, and two, because if you have a 4-person game, it's hard to, like, commentate without giving the game away. So we're trying to come up with a way where we can, like, kind of, like, pseudo-narrate without giving our hands away and stuff like that. So, right? The name's great, right? Absolutely, right? So I like had this idea in my head, right? And I thought the name, like the title is so good that I have to try it and just run with it. And for Magic, right? Like Magic has a small stream base, but you can get traction in it, right? Like I had like 20 to 30 viewers watching me play 1v1 Commander, like when I was real into that last year. And no, there's a market for it. Like people will watch that. Like you know, it's probably not going to be much bigger than that, but the one thing the Magic streaming base doesn't have is loading ready run does that stuff, and like what's it called, the Command Zone does like their super well produced like Game Nights episodes. The idea is we were going to do like a Game Nights episode, but it'd be like way less like crazily good edited and with like without a bajillion cameras and more, just like 4 or 5 friends hanging out and chilling, right? It'd be like the Command Zone Game Night episodes except chilling. So if you think that's a cool idea and have any ideas to help, suggestions and stuff, feel free to follow that one, hit that up. And oh my god, if my client crashes, I'm going to smash this monitor. Just like you should smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be great. Ready to be blinded? Yeah. Okay, we're good. We are loading into the game. We are finally going to get Game 2 going on if this game... You know what? I hope UMACS wins. UMACS, please go out and 2-0 this so that we don't have to suffer through all this. Yeah, exactly. Beer and Magic, or in this case, single malt. Like the delicious Balvenie 12-year that I'm enjoying tonight. Mwah. Nectar of the gods. Nah, I don't go through a lot of monitors. I've had these same 2 monitors for a long time now. Actually, I should probably smash one of these just based on principle, to be honest with you. But, Here we are. Going to Game 2. Skin advantage. Going over to the side of UMACS. Although, I don't know, man. Alright, so who do you guys... actually, it's not going over. It's even. 4 skins on each side. I think Master Chef Tom Kench is the best skin in this game. Meowkai is very good. Snow Day Syndra is very good also. But Master Chef Tom Kench is hot lava. Lady Andrica, thank you for the follow. You get a sweet, sweet Twitch alert notification. But thank you very much. Hope you tune in the future. Like I said, I stream 4 to 6 days a week, sometimes more. Usually not less, but once in a while less. But it's usually in that ballpark. Early afternoons. Usually like 3 Eastern to about 9 Eastern, give or take. Sometimes earlier than that. So, hope to see you again. Hope to tune in. Yes, it's very, very loud. It scared you. Hope it woke you up, get you hyped for this game. Let's rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into Game 2 of the Crimson Hellkites and UMACS, and I'm going to recenter these for you, especially the people with OCD, so that they don't murder me. Looking like both teams are just exhausted and tired and not trying to come up with an oh my god applause. I need my Bob Barker tuba effect. Oh my god, it wasn't a pause. Was that a troll pause? It was a troll pause. I was about to Bob Barker tuba. I need to get the soundboard going. That's what I need to do. That's what I need. That's what we need. See if we can Looks like no fan out. Maybe a little bit of a slight stack here, but nothing too... Nothing too crazy. I know, right? Like, dude, Lobby Simulator, I'd give it like a 77 out of 100. It's like better than you would think, right? Anyway, we're gonna have parallel starts. Red buff starts again. They did get a ward down, so Idocles is aware of what's going on. He's gonna try to get a bunch of damage. I'm not entirely sure this is worth it. He's gonna take a boatload of damage. Isn't gonna be able to get to lane. Oh my god, this is actually... This is like low-key a travesty, potentially, if they play this right. But it doesn't look like UMACS are actually going back to lane, so I think Tom Kench got XP. Yeah, Tom Kench got a bunch of solo XP. He's gonna get to 2 in like 3 minions now. We got an all in the top lane. Eevee is taking a lot of minion damage. Not quite gonna go down. He's gonna get that potion up. Did start Doran's Blade versus Doran's Shield, so he's probably gonna have to get an early back. He's got a wave pushing against him. Ziggy is level 2, as anticipated. Tongue smack Swigga. Right in the plants. Oninokin, late start, is going to smite the red, get there. Again, parallel jungling. We did blue to wolves to red, and then on the other side of the map for Asuv, we had red to raptors to now blue buff, but he's a little bit behind on the blue buff. Oninokin's going to take Scuttle Crab. Gonna arrive, sees that the blue was taken, doesn't know that Asuv was right there. I don't think he had vision of him, but he does know that the blue was recently taken. Maybe not. Oh, he does know that he started red because they had a war on here, so he is gonna gank top. Knows that he just took the blue buff. Is not coming top lane. Gank coming in onto bot and top and mid. Durkadurk looking like he's gonna go down because he has teleport, no defensive summoner. First blood going over to Mansford. Didn't look like anything happened on the top. Just Onino can put some damage down. First blood over to UMACS for Mansford's Syndra. Double Doran's Blade bought for Durkadurk. Looking like he's going to be in this lane for the long haul. Headshot off the 90 caliber net proc there from Tosphos. Nice damage coming down. Oh, the Rupture lands onto Kled. Kled getting Skarl back. Is it Skarl? Yeah, it's Skarl. I love this champion, man. It's so goofy and weird. Oh, the root's gonna land. Some damage coming in from the comets onto Idocles. Rupture landing again. These top laners playing real disrespectful of one another. I mean, I guess Kled can kind of abuse the fact that he doesn't have a lot of mana. A lot of damage coming down. Idocles aggressively jumping in and then getting eaten up by Ziggy. That is one aspect of the Ezreal Tahm Kench. It seems kind of counterproductive, but at the same time, you can do stuff like that, where you can Arcane Flash aggressively to get damage down, which is a pretty useful thing against a non-sustained lane. You just gotta make sure you don't eat too much before Tahm Kench gets that. Oh, Root's gonna land. A lot of damage coming down to Idocles. He's almost gonna go down. Saves his heal and his flash. He's gonna try to recall here. I don't know if Swigga's gonna let them recall. Yeah, Tosphos and Swigga doing a good job threatening this. Start shoving this, man. Don't be freezing. You gotta shove. Hard shove. Auto attack that wave. That way you're not sitting in no man's land. Oninokin looking like he might try something, but, you know, 2v2 support and jungle, not exactly the greatest against specifically Zyra and Caitlyn. CS lead on top of that first blood from Mansford. Durkadurk didn't use his teleport to get back to lane. Surprising. Looking like Tribbles and Eevee's Bay are going to match each other's backs here. We'll see if either of them decide to teleport. Doesn't look like it. Think they're going to walk back together. Ziggy. Super disrespectful. Just sticking his tongue all over the place. This champion. So you know what Tahm Kench is? Tahm Kench is that guy. Right? Like, they need to make a that guy Tahm Kench skin. Right? They can make a that guy Tahm Kench skin. They can make a good guy Tahm Kench skin. They could run wild with this if they really wanted to, right? Regardless, Jungler's looking for a lot, not finding a lot. Unino can control both Scuttle Crabs. It's good work on his part. Kled gonna go in on triples here. Rupture's gonna miss. Nice dodge there. Still a pretty even trade because the multiple spikes from Cho'Gath. Just called him Cosmic Stirp. Oh my god. Tosfa's gonna eat some damage. See if the stun's gonna land here. Unino can cool down. Unino is gonna get Swigga anyway. So the flash gets it. No heal from Tosfaz. Mansford is gonna go ahead and ult. Flash gets the Q. Finishes off Durkadurk. No defensive summoner on that Valkyrie fight going on the bot lane here. Ziggy gonna devour Oninoken. That is a lot. I think Sedge tastes like bacon. Maybe not on this skin. She doesn't. She doesn't have the boar. She's got like a lion skin. Dawn Chaser skin. Getting some bacon. Mixing up that sushi diet. He's going full keto here, right? Is that the keto diet? Right? All proteins all the time. Oh my god, Mansford! Oh, you cheeky fellow, you. Oh my god, Asu's gonna die here too. Is he? There's the heal coming out. Mansford's here. What's gonna happen? Durkadurk's ulting. Who's gonna die? Mansford's gonna pick up another one. His third kill of the game already. Gonna go ahead and scatter the weak to try to disengage here. Dodges the bubble. That's what's called from Vel'Koz. And ultimately a 3-for-1. Mansford going berserk in this game. He wants to go to bed. 4-0. That said third kill. It was a fourth kill. 4-0 for Mansford Syndra. Boy, this is in your pocket to carry. Let's get this going. Oh, that is not a good look for Durkadurk. Has to flash. Yeah, you can't. You need to have a damn good reason to not run barrier or heal or cleanse against Syndra. Certain champions can do it. Corki. Any champion that's long enough range to not ever get hit with a stun, but jeez, it's just not worth the risk, man. Like, Durkadurk already blew his teleport, died again. He's back. It's down a substantial amount of CS. Fight coming down the bot lane here. Support versus AD carry. Kled going in on the Cho'Gath. There's so much action going on. Both these teams are so antsy to get this over with. No mana on Cho'Gath. Kled, flash for flash, and Tribble's gonna get him! The savage outplay! The savage outplay! Tribbles picks it up! Oh my god, well done, sir. That's the flash. Fortunately, Eevee's Bay had already taken 2 tower hits before that. That third one was gonna do a big chunk of damage. Regardless, CS leads in every lane except for top. And jungle, I guess. Onino can keep it up. Although they're both the same level. So 20 CS lead in the bot lane, 20-ish in the mid lane. 16, 13, can't count. Deal with it. And yeah, UMACS in the driver's seat in this game. They got a fed Syndra. I will mention this though. Syndra, Tahm Kench is one of those champions that's extremely good against Syndra. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a period of time last year where Tahm Kench was briefly meta. He's going to ult in behind here. We got the Tahm Kench plus Sejuani combo ultimates, and Idocles is going to go down. Stopwatch coming in from Tosfaz, brought to you by Rolex. Trap's going to catch him. A lot of damage come down, and they're not able to pick up anything. So Idocles, Tosfaz, and Swig are going to get a kill and get away with it. The Tribbles trying to make something happen on the top. Here comes the ultimate. The ultimate's going to miss. Oh, the Rupture is not, though. Mansford's on his bottom. He's going to pick up a kill on Uninoken. And looking like Eevee's Bay is going to drop. Tribbles picks up another, an assist for Asu. Another 5th kill on the bot side for Mansford, who's just going absolutely ballistic, doing his best Faker impression here. I think they're going to be able to hold this tower. They got 3-on-3. Ooh, a lot of damage coming in with Caitlyn, and Tosfaz able to heal and Nutty Calvernet out of that. Ooh. Jeez, not looking good for the Crimson Hellkites. And UMACS maximizing. Get it? I did it. Oh, maximizing their income here. Oh, Tosfaz not in a good spot. So I can kind of do this kind of thing. I don't know if you want to mess with a fed Syndra, especially when you're losing topside turret already. Oh, almost a combo there. Let's get it. We got kind of like an all random, all bot. Well, it's not all random, it's all draft. Oh, and you kind of see why. I mentioned, one of the things I mentioned just now was, you know, Tahm Kench is good against Syndra, so maybe 5-0 Syndra. Unless you're like crazy disciplined on a 5-0 Syndra, a lot of her effectiveness can be negated by Tahm Kench if you play it correctly. Now, he's big enough that he can kind of just split right now. We'll see if YUMACS opts into that strategy or not. Or if they're just going to group as 4. Oh, the True Shot Barrage. That had to be really close to Xaxes. That does not do that much damage early, but he's going to, Idically, he's going to pick up the crucial shutdown on Mansford. A lot of money coming in for him there. It's going to get him back even in this game, as he was down 24 CS. Really, really huge pickup for Idicles there. He's going to back and head mid, where there's a Rift Herald. I didn't even talk about the Rift Herald getting taken. Rift Herald got taken by Suv and Tribbles at some point. I think maybe just the Suv, actually. Shows how much attention to this game we've all maintained here, but looks like it got a couple charges off on the mid lane tower. Got a full court press here. Top lane tower went down during all that, you know, 3v3 bot lane fighting as well. Assume they took the Herald after that, took it mid. The bot and mid towers for Crimson Hellkites, for Crimson Hellkites. Not long for this world. We'll see if they can make a play off of it. 3 orbs out. 1 more. Land the stun. Not going to get it. Kled's going to land the bear trap on a rope. Gets the... Oh, Idicle's going to get Mansford again. Well played there by Evia's Bay. Zyrol going to come down into the tower. Trying to force this tower down. Not quite going to be able to get it. Use your headshot on the tower. No? Okay. Sejuani coming in, ults comes in from Unidoken, lands it, Permafrost, gets it. That's a dead Tosfos, and guess what, guys? Guess what? The Crimson Hellkites are fighting back in this game. They are fighting back in this game. And just like that, gold is only, 2K different now. Maybe get a water jet off this. They're going to dogpile in onto a Suv here. Suv not going to make it through this. Bear trap on a rope. Ziggy's going to eat that. Eevee's Bay is going to pick up the kill. They're going to get for a dragon here. Mansford's up. He does have ultimate. This is dangerous. No mana. Idicle's going to catch top. Got to be careful if he shows top here. They might know. This is likely going to be a water drake. Barring some miracle. Almost stolen there by Mansford, but a good smite by Untitled to confirm that. Idicle's solo catching top wave. And guess what? All out of nowhere, not sure what this Serrated Dirk's going to build into, but whatever, dude. Deal with that later. Idicle's going to catch this top farm, and combined with the kill on Mansford and the shutdown on Mansford the first time, he's back in this game. Back in business, probably just about even with Caitlyn, if not slightly ahead. Check that real quick. 47 to 49. He's just about even with Caitlyn right now. Mid lane turret going down. It's not long for this world. Bot lane turret also went down. A lot of gold in the pockets of Syndra caught again. Bear trap on the rope is going to land. Coincidentally, Kled actually pretty good against Syndra too, because the dismount will proc if Syndra ult bursts you down, so he's not a great target either. So, big team fight coming in here. Maokai ult's going to land on one person. Ziggy's kind of in no man's land. The carries are all dueling each other down here. Ezreal, not quite. The backline going in as well. Crazy fight. Durgar's going to pop the Lifelorn Disintegration Ray. Syndra dropping a bunch of damage. Is going to drop Eevee's Bay. Mansford's going to be low. A lot of low members. 1 for 1 so far, but a lot of low members on the side of the Crimson Hellkites. Gotta be careful here. Syndra's fishing for a stun. Does land it. Gets the W. Gets the ult. And you kind of see the effectiveness of the Tahm Kench there. He's able to devour Dirk and save him from otherwise would have been a deadly Syndra ult. And they're going to hold this tower. So, all told, 1 for 1. Could have been a lot worse. Before, could have been a lot worse, but keep in mind that UMACS did have a lot of tower gold to spend. So they had taken down 2 towers and they hadn't bought. So it's a lot of global gold going in their pocket. But you can kind of that was not a a 3K gold differential fight. That was still the 2K because they hadn't bought yet. So we mentioned that last game, an hour ago, whenever that was. But we mentioned in the first game that when you're behind in a game, especially, you want to try to force fights like that before the other team gets to spend their money. Because you're going to have way better odds of taking the fight and winning it if they haven't spent that extra, global gold that they've gotten. Doesn't seem like a big difference, but that can kind of be, it's really a huge deal unless the team comps are that mismatched. Evi's gonna go ahead and clear this. Scatter the weak, gonna miss the orb, so no stun landed. Ziggy gonna devour him just in case. Maokai landed getting slowed by the Dirk. Scatter the weak landing on Evi's Bay. Looking like he's just gonna recall, maybe reassign to bottle. In the meantime, Totsfiles has been kind of shoving this entire bot wave up all the way from tower. Big wave, nobody coming to answer it. Evi's Bay could ult down to this, or maybe teleport. Looking like Ziggy's calling for someone to get in his belly. Oh, never mind, he canceled it. Double root landing. Some decent damage going down. Evi's Bay charges into battle here. He's going to run right into the wall. Nothing going on there. Zyra's going to go down. Ziggy pops the bonus health. He's going to try to walk away from this. He's probably going to go down. Totsfuzz gets him with the ultimate. On the back end of this fight, Cho'Gath, Mansferg making easy work out of Dirk, who I don't think he didn't even get to ult in that fight, so not a good look for Crimson Hellkites. That was once again a scenario where, I know I was like kind of cheesing about it and everything, but when I was talking in between games with that highlight about playing front to back, and what was the main lesson we talked about like after the last game was over for the side of Crimson Hellkites was giving direction on approaches, and it seems like they're kind of just like playing solo queue more or less. Like they're not communicating that they need to approach from the same side. So a lot of the times they're playing a 2-core composition, and their carries. Looks like Tom Kenchalt messed up again. I don't know if that's knowledge or what, but nice combo with the grasping roots and the rupture. Going to be another tower, so 2 more towers worth of gold for UMACS to spend. Get some roots down, but not going to be anything of it. It's like Alright, so UMACS is doing a really, really good job of utilizing like their win condition, right? They want to siege with Caitlyn and Zyra poke and use their front line to make it a real pain in the ass for Crimson Hellkites to engage on them, which is exactly what they're doing. They're rolling around as 5, they're sieging, they're taking towers down. Good rotations, good direction by UMACS here. And Crimson Hellkites are looking at a 6K gold deficit now. Being severely out-tempoed here. Another good rotation. What's the next thing on the map? It's the last outer tower on the map. It's top lane tier 2, so this is textbook. Like, this is how you're supposed to use Caitlyn. You're supposed to group early, use the traps in her range to just take towers down, abuse the fact that it's really tough to get in on a team like this. Like, the Syndra Caitlyn core with, like, a Zyra and 2 tanks is really, really tough to engage on, even with the Kled and Sejuani engage, being quite strong in its own right. It's really, really tough to engage with the silence, all the disengage and CC of UMACS. So they're just kind of marching this gold lead around, but they are aware that Ezreal does outscale a little bit. Trying to make work of this tower, trying to rotate. I don't want to say they don't want to clock, but I would say that they're like maybe a little bit outscaled by the Ezreal, assuming really good Ezreal play. So there's a chance they could lose this game, so they want to keep up the pace. And regardless of whether you believe they're outscaled or not, you still want to if you're ahead like this, you still want to close the game, you know, sooner rather than later. If you're 70% to win a game, you'd rather do it 70 than 55, right? Sue's gonna go in, flash out as soon as he realizes he's in a bad way. Ooh, Mansford, Glacial Prison, or Permafrost rather, hits in. He's gonna flash out and escape. And all of a sudden, flash on Mansford down. Maybe Hellkites have a window. They're gonna go in on the Ziggy. Ziggy's gonna eat a Twisted Advance and Scatter the Weak. Big front line coming in from Triple. Triple's taking a lot of damage. Durgadark's gonna get a good ult, almost channeled down the Vel'Koz. Fortunately, Onino can kind of left stranded there. Tosfa's doing a bunch of damage on the back end of this fight. Flash Rugen on two people. Good front to back fight. UMAC's doing a really, really good job with that exact principle I was talking about. Like, good front to back, right? They're not over diving. They're not trying to zone out carries. They just wait and wait and wait and wait. That's really, really good discipline by this team. You don't normally see that kind of discipline at this level, so I'm impressed. They're going to get, you know, 2 towers and a mid lane inhibitor, or 1 tower and a mid lane inhibitor out of this. Likely rotate this to top, because guess what? They're still healthy. You got a YUMACS taking on Cho'Gath. Really, really good rotational play and macro play by UMACS. They understand how the fights are supposed to go. They understand their win conditions. They got to be careful here. They don't get caught up. If you're the Crimson Hellkites, this is as good a window as any to take a fight, because you're not going to have too many better opportunities unless this game goes another 20 minutes or so. So, going to see if Crimson Hellkites try to force something here. He's kind of off on his own. Ooh, EV is Bay taking a boatload of damage. He's going to pop out. Top 5's on a killing spree. Ziggy going to get the kill on a Soothe there, but it was mostly Dark's damage from the Vel'Koz ultimate. Here we go. 4v4. Big fight coming in. Look at, see, again, really, really great front to back. Nice Flash Devour on Durgadark, flash from Idaclete. Just really, really good understanding and awareness of how you're supposed to team fight with a 2-core. So I'm really impressed with UMACS here. They've done a really good job. They've shown me something. Mansford, you're gonna try to end? 15 seconds. Not very long death timers here. I think I kind of like the Baron call better. Now they're kind of wasting time, but still. Once again, Crimson Hellkite's kind of in desperation mode here. You want to pick a fight if you could find it. It's not going to get too much better. You want to try to force a fight here. We'll see how they do. They are going to find them. They guess the correct push. Tosfaz almost goes down. Not quite. Left 4 disintegration rate is barely going to snipe him. Rupture's going to land onto 2 people. Let's see if Crimson Hellkites can make this happen. Doesn't look like it's going too well for them. They don't have an AD carry, as Durgadark, or Idaclete, is kind of off to the side. Good route by Swigga to keep them out of that fight. Did some damage on a Mansford, but it's not going to be able to kill him. Crimson Hellkites needs to keep doing that. Especially when you have 2 tanks. One's about to get another, where they have a YUMACS and a Spirit Visage and a lot of health. So you got to keep forcing fights, or they're just going to get a Baron at some point. Looks like they're going to start the Baron with either of their carries going. It's just going to be Zyra and 2 tanks. It's going to be a really slow Baron take, but it doesn't look like Crimson Hellkites are aware of what's going on. So this is potentially a free Baron. Let's see if Idaclete is going to want to hold up or not. Doing this really slow, however, taking a lot of damage. But I don't think they're coming over in time. Cho'Gath's going to have his feast up, or he has his feast up already. They got a carry here now. That's going to be a Baron. So, Ezreal, not quite enough. I think they just realized a little bit too late. They probably didn't think that they were going to do it with 2 tanks and a Zyra, so I don't blame them. Good call. UMACS again, showing great macro play. Ooh, only not quite able to get there fast enough. I'm really, really impressed with UMACS this game. And it's not like Crimson Hellkites like aren't doing like Crimson Hellkites are doing what they need to do to fight back, but this is like very, very similar to the kind of team comps we saw, you know, the first like the quarterfinals round at Worlds this year, where World Elite kind of surprised everybody with the Caitlyn pick in a style of composition they hadn't really played that much before. Siggy's gonna go here. Just not tanky enough. Nobody's tanky enough. You got Deathcap, Void Staff, Syndra. A bit of an overdive here. Maybe a cleanup for Dirkberg. He's getting interrupted by the Arcane Smash from Maokai. We're like 2 towers deep, guys. Tribbles goes down eventually. Jeez, UMACS just... God, man. Another one for the road, I guess. Tasvaz and UMACS on their way to a 2-0 and a Stellar Division Finals victory here, assuming this Nexus goes down. I'm very, very impressed. I'm extremely impressed with how UMACS played this second game. Much cleaner than the first. That was a clinic in how to play a Caitlyn composition. Like an absolute clinic. Very, very well done by both sides. Jeez. Excellent performances from Mansford to get that rolling. Tasfaz to close it out. That's exactly how you're supposed to play a Caitlyn composition. So take notes, people. That was excellent. Let's congratulate UMACS on their 2-0 and Stellar Division victory. Have you guys won Stellar before? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get somebody in for an interview. Hold up. Anybody? See if we can get them on for an interview real quick. If not, no big deal. We'll see if I can get them a Discord hookup here. See if we can get them for a quick interview, and then your boys got to go to bed because it's way, way too late. Way, way, way too late. All right, so chat. We still have some people here. What do you guys want to hear? What kind of questions do you want to hear for the champs? Lady Andrika, thank you for the follow. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for keeping the chat interesting. I hope you have a great night. Everybody has a good time. I'm going to have an interview, but if you got a jet, I totally understand. I'm not too far behind you. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, feel free to dial them up. Let me see who we got here. Is this
you have
Asuv?
the jungler?
This
yep.
Is it ASUV or Asuv or what?
Asuv.
Asuv, okay. Ace of Spades. Got him. All right, Asuv. So first of all, congratulations on a 2-0.
Thank you.
Despite the crazy, you know, lobbies being a complete mess in between games and everything, how did you guys like maintain focus so much in that second game to make that happen? That was clean.
Honestly, we were just ripping on each other.
Oh, is that all it was? Just keeping it lighthearted?
Keeping it angry.
Keeping it angry. Well, that's one way to do it. That works for a lot of teams, especially once people know what's going on. But like, I mean, that second game was a clinic. What happened? Like, so the first game, I could talk about that second game, but like I really want to dive into the first game a little bit more because I know it was like 3 hours ago or whatever, but but that first game, like, what was the difficulty you guys were having in closing that game compared to this one?
I think we were just a little bit greedy at times, or we should have just been rotating a little bit more. There's also sometimes a bit of the trust issues where we're making a call and someone doesn't trust it, and then they back off.
Yeah,
and as a 5-man, that can kill us.
I also think it's also a lot easier to snowball when you have like a Fed Syndra and Caitlyn. Like, that's an early game comp, and you can kind of make things happen. You guys had a little bit more
first
of a scaling
game
2-core in that game, so
our first game was all scaling.
Yeah, for sure.
We just happened to beat them in the early game with the scaling comp. It's like giving a Twitch 5 kills in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I had some questions about their team composition because Caitlyn, I saw what they were trying to do, but the execution wasn't as clean as this Caitlyn. Was that a bit of a rub, or was that an actual priority that you guys had picked? That's for
So
anybody to answer.
we knew that he liked using Caitlyn, and we trusted our carry on Caitlyn. So if we had to bump him down to something else, we were comfortable with that.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you guys. It looks like you guys had like practice Caitlyn comps before. Like, I don't know if that's a thing or if you just like knew that from, watching high level players do it. But that I watch a lot of high level League of Legends, and I bust on a lot of even professional teams for not making Caitlyn work. Like, that was literally exactly the way it's supposed to work, and so many teams fail to do that. So
we said we had a lot of CC combinations with their traps, would just work beautifully.
yeah.
So we just said it fits our comp that we like going with. So just if we can take away from their pool for something that we are comfortable with, we're going to take that.
That's good, and that's like a really, really effective strategy at this level, where like takeaway picks matter a lot more than your traditional, just like strong meta picks necessarily, because like the meta picks aren't always good if people don't know how to play them. Patches change frequently. People don't always have a ton of time to practice them, etc. So, Mansford, man, you went berserk that second game. What happened? What was the difference?
Ginger wasn't banned.
That's true. You had 4 bans lobbed against you in the first game. Is that like a sense of
It
pride
was
for you?
really
or is it more...
common. It's a sense of pride. I know my champion pool is gigantic. 5 bans isn't enough. I got 5 banned at least twice during the season. So I have no problem like getting our power picks across. We know we needed to get our ADC picked in the first round to match theirs, and we know we needed to get our jungle picked. So for me, having me get an extra couple bans in the first game specifically, getting a couple extra bans thrown at me wasn't the biggest deal if we could get the core of the comp we wanted together.
Right,
as soon as I saw the Vel'Koz also, it was clear I was going to go an assassin, and those are far enough down my champion pool that I wasn't really worried about it getting banned out.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, also it's like we pick a lot of the same champions.
Yeah.
We just do because they're not banning it. If they're gonna, a lot of our guys, like I have a lot of champions I play, a lot.
Yeah.
But they want to ban out mid, so it just gives us so much more free range to comp things that are a little less in the meta but more team fight friendly for us.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense too, because that's, I mean, in my opinion, playing 2-core, like once you understand the basic premise of it, playing 2-core is like the most basic, simple way to play League, and like, simple but effective, right? Like that's, protect your carries, like that's all you got to do, and they get to do the work, and it, becomes a situation where you're, it's your front line's health plus your damage versus their front line's health plus damage, and if you trust your carries and the carries trust their tanks, then you're going to win with that kind of style every time, as long as you pick a comp that's conducive to it, right? I was a little bit skeptical in the first game with the Kassadin pick. I had some like nitpicky things about like teleport versus ignite and everything, but that I'm not going to go into that now. I was kind of curious whether, did you guys plan on 1-3-1ing, or was that going to be like a team fight Kassadin? Is that just like a thing that you do?
So we generally, when I play Kassadin, it's with the idea of it's more of a team fight Kassadin, where it's let me get to the back line. In the loading screen to that game, our comms were just talking about, we had the Shen and the Rakan to actually be able to peel for our Xayah, and then I would be able to get onto the back line and take out Caitlyn or Vel'Koz, whichever one was easier to get to. And for the most part, that worked. I think the one time we really tried going with the split push Kassadin, I managed to die under tower to Caitlyn solo.
Yeah.
I mean, also we have that ult that once you're in the back line, they basically can't chase you with the Maokai.
Yeah, that's true. I was just kind of curious because 9 times out of 10 you see Kassadin as like teleport 1-3-1 split pusher, and you guys were kind of set up to do that because Xayah Rakan, and I forget who your jungler was in the first game, but it was like a good 3-core to wave clear with. So you could have, hypothetically wave cleared against 3 or 4 people, even with the crazy dive that they had. So I just wasn't sure how you guys were going to approach that. But a little sloppier in the first game, a little more nitty gritty. But the second game, crystal clear. Well done. Congrats on your guys' 2-0. Do you guys have any shout outs, sponsors, etc.?
Shout out to Jonathan Stein, the best support in the game. It's all because of you and Gav.
So shout out to the GoFundMe to get our top lane more champions.
Yes, please.
So
For real.
we'll have to fire up GoFundMe for Tribbles to get him some more champions.
Tribbles.
If he was ever banned out this whole like split, it would have been over for us.
Oh, we would have had to remake that lobby like 3 more times. It would have been over.
Oh my
It would have
god.
taken 6 hours.
That
No,
lobby.
you don't understand. He has 3 champions.
There
He
was
had 3 champions, literally.
That's a good team
Until-
name. That's a good team name for next split, the Lobby Busters.
the lobby busters.
You just like
Until-
look up who people don't have and just
I mean, our name is actually a college team, basically.
yeah. Where is UMACS?
It's in New York City.
Oh, okay. Yonkers University
Nope,
of
it's
Yeshiva.
Yeshiva. It's Yeshiva University, and their college teams are the Maccabees.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
we just
Cool,
kinda went with it.
UMACS. I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. I didn't know. So you guys all like knew each other before coming into this, right?
We actually don't know anybody.
Oh, the bot lane knew each other.
Oh,
Following
okay.
each
Following.
other, we kind of knew each other as we all joined just a group of people in our
Yeah.
college who play League, and then
You met
I'd been
that
in
way.
Vantage the season before the season, and I wondered if anyone from my college group wanted to play, and we got 5.
That's awesome. That's good. That's,
I'm
that's
actually an
what we're doing.
alumnus too.
Gotta that's sweet. Yeah, like small world kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like very like remarkably similar to how Don't Ban Rumble and Red, White, and Sexy. Like we know 7 of the 8 people. Like we're friends of the 10 in those 2 teams. So we've like known each other for a while, and we met in a very similar fashion. So it's cool to
I've
see
actually
them building that
never
community.
seen these guys in people. In
Oh,
person.
they're
I've never
like-
seen these guys in person.
They're Galactic Division. Oh, no, well that's pretty rad. Still
Yeah.
building communities,
Still.
building people. Congrats on
Maybe we
the 2-0.
should have a pizza party.
Yeah, we should have a pizza party. However, I gotta go to sleep because I should have been in bed 2 hours ago. So
Yeah.
Thank
Agreed.
you so
you
much
send
for
us the-
staying up to cast this.
Yeah, no problem,
Especially with
guys.
all of the.
that it happens. I totally
The
understand.
lobby
Can you
stuff.
send us the cast link?
So what I'm gonna do is when I shut the stream off, it's gonna upload a video or VOD to Twitch. Technically, it's actually already there. You can watch it, and I'll give you guys a link to that. I'll upload it to YouTube, but that usually takes like a little bit. So I'm probably gonna upload it to YouTube and then go to bed, and then I'll post the link at some point tomorrow in the morning.
Awesome.
So
Wait, we can watch it the VOD though. You said right?
It's up right now on Twitch.
That'll the VOD will be up right now. You can watch.
Can you
that.
link it?
I'll link it.
I
once-
can
once
send
I'm
you
out
guys
here.
a link. It's
I'm
right
gonna
Okay.
close this out real quick, but congratulations, guys. I'm gonna dip to the AFK channel so I can close this cast out and enjoy the cast. Hit me up in the slide.
Hey, thanks, man, for setting this whole thing up, by the way.
Congrats. No
Yeah.
problem, guys.
It's a lot of fun.
Alrighty, congrats. So that was your Stellar Division champions, UMACS, with the 2-0 over the Crimson Hellkites. I'm going to close this cast out. I should have been in bed 2 hours ago, but building community, having fun. We had a fun cast tonight. The Twitch chat was bumping. People were active. That makes it a lot more fun, especially when there's a ton of downtime. So hit that follow button. As always, smash that follow button. I'm on Twitter at GelatiLOL. The blog's gelatiLOL.blogspot.com. I've been real active on that recently, so feel free to hit me up. In game, I'm Gelati or Vargasm. Feel free to add me. If you ever have questions, anything like that, I am more than welcome to help. I do only have so many hours in the day, but I am more than welcome to help. I hope you guys have a great night. And, go Eagles in the Super Bowl.